Hello, hello. What's going on? Tom Hunyadi here. Let's see if we can get some people commenting. Be here for a little while. Take your questions and read your comments and see what we can do today. Oh, we got Lynn is in the house. Hello, Lynn. How you been? Thanks for joining. Again, any questions, comments, just please leave them in the comment section. Say hello. And I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you all I hope you're having a good start to the week. It's Wednesday, midweek Macca break. It's hump day, and let's have some fun. So what's going on, everybody? I know the next round of the SHM CDs have been are now available for pre-order, and this is fine. Glad you're better. Just finished watching Billy Tone's show about Sgt. Pepper. Yeah, revisiting the Sgt. Pepper box set. Yes. Yes. It was a good box set. I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that one a lot, actually. I remember when that came out, I think before Andy joined the show, excuse me, we had Ken Womack and Kid O'Toole on to talk about that box set, which was a good one. 2017, that was released, right? Wow. Amazing. So the next round of the SHM CDs have been announced. I think this is the final installment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we got Paul is Live, Flaming Pie, the Omega Gig, Chaos and Creation, and New are the ones that are coming out in July. I kept seeing comments that the mono version was best, which I never had or never heard. Tone seemed to like the remastered version better. Yeah. This was one of the ones I enjoyed of the Giles Martin remixes. And I liked all the bonus tracks too. I thought they were really good. So yeah. So who else is out there? Who else is out there that wants to say hi and write in? 10 people watching now. So don't be shy, everybody. Come on. I'll try to keep my head in the so you don't get the glare of the sun coming through the window. So I haven't been listening to much. I've been listening to ELO's Discovery album a lot this past week. It's become one of my favorite ELO albums. Excluding the last track, Don't Let Me Down. I'm kind of tired of that song. I've never really been the biggest fan of that song anyways. So, we got Uncle Paul. How you doing, Uncle Paul? Yes. And next week, we're going to be having Uncle Paul joining me live. And we're just going to have a fun chat. So look forward to the next week, Uncle Paul popping up. Tony D. Hello, Tony. How are you? What have you been listening to this past week? Like I said, I've been listening to a lot to Discovery, ELO's Discovery, and really enjoy that album. Still got a cough that I can't get rid of. Listening to Tug of War and Pipes of Peace today. All right. Uncle Paul says, very excited. Thank you. Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to it as well. Excuse me. I'll be emailing you here in a day or two, and we can, we can talk about, things to chat about next week. Paul says, Tony, I just played both on Sunday. Look at there. There you go. There you go. Yep. So, I was excited. I think it was like 3 years ago at the fest. I had gotten, Give My Cards the Broad Street display piece with the cassette on it, and I had that, and so it's kind of like just starting to get into the display pieces. And then 3 years ago at the fest, I had found, or one of the guys had this Back to the Egg display piece that I really, really love. It's pretty cool, kind of like 3D-ish, right? So, yeah, this part comes out a little bit, So this is one of my favorite pieces right here. So I'm glad to have this out on display now. Let's see here. Original vinyls. Let's see here. The Back to the Egg display. Very, very cool. Thank you. I got an imported Tug of War vinyl from Russia. Really interesting. I don't think I have anything. Well, no, I should say I have the Flowers in the Dirt from Russia. From Russia with Love. Anybody been watching anything? I went to go see the Mission Impossible movie, the final one, Final Reckoning. So I went to see. Saw it last Saturday night. Liked it so much. I saw it again Sunday night. So if you're a fan of the Mission Impossible films, I definitely recommend seeing the last installment. If it is indeed the last installment with Tom Cruise, we'll see. Maybe they'll continue with someone else, but I don't know. Anyways, so what else? Any questions, comments? Let's see here. I did see the Mission Impossible film. Too bad if it is the last one. Yeah. I hope you liked it. There's some crazy stunt scenes in there. The one at the end was insane. They're going from one plane to another. Pretty crazy. Henry, how you doing? Henry, speaking of Henry, I just got this on Blu-ray, Alto Nights. De Niro playing two gangsters. Okay. There's nothing plausible but fun. It was a lot of fun. I thought this was like the perfect summer movie, summer blockbuster film. Popcorn, the whole nine. Like I said, I loved it. The great thing about it is like, okay, I like how it ties in with the first one. So if you only really need to see the first Mission Impossible and the one prior to this one, really. But yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, then I'm going to at some point this week I'm going to see the re-release of Kevin Smith's Dogma, which he got the rights back from Harvey Weinstein. Let's see here. That's going to be back in theaters, and I'm going to go see it this week at some point. How will Two Legs celebrate Paul's birthday in 2 weeks? That is a good question. I do not know yet. We'll have to talk. Andy and I will have to talk about that. But I'm sure we'll do something. I'm sure we'll do something. James, how are you? Good afternoon. Hope all is well to you. So yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Yeah, kind of a quiet week in news. Really, not much going on. I know there's a new video with Babs and McCartney. I haven't watched it yet. To be honest with you, I'm not very, happy about the whole situation with My Valentine and all that. If you guys like it, that's good. But it says Meet the Parents 4 is official now. Yes, they got Ariana Grande for a role as well. It's good comedy, better than Little Fockers was definitely the worst of the batch. Excuse me. Let me mute this. Yeah, it was definitely Little Fockers was bad. It was bad. We shall see. Hopefully, they got some good writers. But yeah. What's everybody's thoughts on Red Rose Speedway? I decided to wear my Red Rose Speedway shirt in the comment section. Let me know. What are your thoughts? Do you like the whole thing? Myself, I think the A side is one of his best A sides in his whole discography. I think it's a perfect side. But the album as a whole, I think, is lacking when you turn it over. However, I think it's a good album. Listening party, the last Wednesday of the month. I don't know. Sometimes it just pops up. I'm like, oh yeah, we got to do a listening party. So it could vary. We'll see. Doc, how you doing, Doc? I just finished watching the Ringo interview about him turning 85. Good watch. But won't someone tell him to shave his neck? He's got a good neck beard, when he dyes and stuff, makes him look young. Yeah, big barn bed, love that. Absolutely. And get on the right thing. Yes, absolutely. I think it was a better album than even though I love Wildlife. Red Rose Speedway might be a better album in whole. It's my favorite Wings album. My number 3 or 4 favorite Wings album. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. I didn't prepare a lot today just because I've been busy with work. So I'm going to be relying on you guys for some help today. I have the double LP. The double LP is fantastic, right? Let's see here. Here it is, right here, the double LP. Right? Naturally, there's nothing on the back. It looks really old. You know, I like it. I like the look of it. And yeah, we'll talk about that too. Ollie, hello. Are you all unpacked? No, I still got some stuff in storage that I need to grab as well. More books and whatnot. I have a couple, some of them over there now. But I need to get more stuff out of storage. So Ringo's 85 now. Is he really good shape for that? Yeah. Yep. So when the night is wonderful. Okay. Hello, Mr. Ling. How are you? Hot Take Ling is in the house. How do you feel about that nickname there? How do you feel about that nickname, my friend? Do you like Hot Take Ling? Song Two Legs will be interviewing J.R. Moore's soon about Off the Ground. I'm still reading it, so need to get going, I guess. Yeah, me too. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to talking to him about the book. Absolutely. Yeah. Ringo turns 85 on July 7th. To be honest with you, those are the kind of things I forget, like the birthdays and stuff like that. Better than shit stirring. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Now, James says, I'm hoping for versions similar to the double LP Red Rose Speedway for cold cuts. End of the year. Well, do you know we're getting cold cuts at the end of the year? Is that what you're trying to say? Still got the wrapping on the double Red Rose Speedway LP. Okay. Yeah, because it's not a gatefold, right? I think Off the Ground is really awkward. Yeah, so do I. I think this album could have been a masterpiece, in my opinion. But as we know of Paul, sometimes he leaves some of the better songs off the album. When we did our last listening party for the bonus tracks from Egypt Station, we were talking about how we felt some of those songs should have been put on the album. It could have been a better album, and I feel the same way. I feel the same way about Off the Ground. I wish Big Boys Bickering was on the album. I wish Style was on the album. Some other ones. Long Leather Coat. Susan told me Ringo Starr meditates more than the other Beatles. Okay. I did not know that. Hoping. Okay. I think I think we're past cold cuts now. If you were to do that, I thought it would have been like maybe last year or something like that. Only because of the fact that cold cuts was starting to be conceived in the year 74. But however, it never came to fruition. So, but you never know. I mean, we've been surprised before, right? Here's a hot take. Off the Ground, A Poor Man's Flowers. Yeah. We'll see. I know someone might be disagreeing with you. Let's see here. Cosmic Conscious should have been on the regular album. I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about the full length, though, I mean, if you're talking about the full length version of Cosmic Conscience, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that song, to be honest with you. Okay. And the Howard Stewart song for Off the Ground. Which one? Remind me which one that was. Because I know there was First Stone that he co-wrote with McCartney during the Flowers era. And Nick says, they're off the ground and Rich Man's Flowers. Yeah, see, and Tim, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Tom, much of cold. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't think we'll ever get like a cold cuts, LP, kind of like the double Red Rose Speedway, double blah, 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 Red Rose Speedway. I'd be fine with it, but like Tim says, we got a lot of that. We got a lot of that already. Billy Joel recently got diagnosed with a brain disease and had to cancel. Yeah, he's one of my all-time favorites and grew up with him. Hope he gets well. Yeah, sure. I mean, I got to I got to work 4 or 5 Billy Joel concerts over the years. When I worked the tour catering thing, I know we did San Antonio. We worked the show. I know we did Vegas. I know we did Phoenix. And the toughest one was definitely the one we did the show at Dodger Stadium, and that was pretty tough. But a lot of long days on that one. A lot of long days on that one. But so there was a while there where I was done with Billy Joel. I don't want to listen to another damn Billy Joel song again. Just because, I mean, those shows to work, especially the one when they're a week long, because of building the stage and whatnot, they're tough weeks. They're tough weeks. Let's see here. Keep coming back to Love is Great. Yeah. Okay. Raining in London. All right. Thank you. Let's see here. I haven't heard Style or Big Boys Bickering, so we'll have to check them out. I like Cosmic. Yeah, Lynn, all you got to do is go to YouTube. Type in. First you can just go to Wikipedia, type in Off the Ground, and then go through track listing, and then they'll show you all the stuff that was on the complete works, right? Which I don't currently have with me, and then you can look at all those songs that you probably haven't heard before, and then check them out. I know we discussed maybe doing the bonus tracks from Off the Ground for the next listening party with the Discord family. And matter of fact, and that's the way. That's a good segue to letting you guys know about our Patreon. We were doing listening parties on YouTube, but we did get taken down once. So that put an end to that for a while, and then we came up with this idea. Our friend Kyle Hand told us about the Discord thing, and that's been growing. So you can go to Patreon, type in Two Legs Podcast. You can find us there if you want to become a Patreon member, and then you automatically will be set up with the Discord family, where we talk about many things. That's where we do a lot of our communicating, and then once a month we do a listening party. So we just did our third one a couple weeks ago for the or was it last week already? The bonus tracks for Egypt Station. That was good fun. Alice's full 1 year and the CD single version of Off the Ground. Full, yeah, okay. Let's see. I haven't seen Alto Nights, but yeah, but on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics scores are the 70s, so audience seemed to like it. I did. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was great though. Let's see here, Lynn. Get the bootleg the other side of Off the Ground. We weren't expecting one hand clap. Yes, exactly. We weren't. Yep, we weren't expecting this when it came out a couple years ago, but I'm glad we got it. Glad we got it. Kicked Around No More is another excellent bonus track from Off the Ground that I think would have been much better on Off the Ground. Love Kicked Around No More. These days I prefer much of Off the Ground to Flowers. Okay. And I'm sorry, Mr. Ling, that you did not enjoy the Alto Nights. That's okay. That's okay. Another new song from Alice Cooper. The band dropped today. So yeah, Alice Cooper is back with his original band. That's pretty cool. Off the Ground has a really clunky production sound. Yeah, and I'm going to make a statement here. That whole era of Paul is just really just, in my opinion, very adult contemporary. Okay? I mean, yeah, they look like they're having fun. They're a nice band, but they just don't have that, that rocking sound like he had in the 70s. Robbie is a fantastic guitar player, but I just did not like the sound of the music. Like I said, I thought it was very adult contemporary. Lynn says, I've been listening to Get Enough in 62nd Street since the last listening party. They made one of my playlists. Yeah, I've come to really consider Get Enough to be a masterpiece. Forget the auto tune. I can look past that. Does it enhance the song? Maybe not, but lyrically, I think the song is great. I think the second half, the melody, that faint lyrics you hear from a woman in the background. I love that. I like everything about the song. I like everything about Get Enough. I think it's wonderful. Off the Ground is a sentimental album for me because I got it while in college. It really improved my life. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And it's funny how some of those albums do that for you, right? There's some albums and some movies that I know aren't really like considered great or masterpieces or anything like that, but you still enjoy them because you got sentimental reasons or nostalgia for them. I put together a playlist of the best of Flowers in the Dirt and Off the Ground and call it Flowers Off the Ground. Or call it Flowers in the Ground. Nice perspective of that era, yeah. Mr. Ling says, did you dig the new Mission Possible? I digged it so much I saw it 2 days in a row. I saw it last Saturday, and I saw it the next day, Sunday night. So yes, I did very much dig it. I liked how it's. I liked how they tied everything together. Like the references to the first film. And yes, I really enjoyed it. I knew Kyle, the young one, told you about this. Yep. Favorite Billy Joel song? For me, it's Honesty is fantastic. Honesty is fantastic. But I think Vienna from The Stranger might be my favorite. It's hey, Brad. I'm at work now. Yeah, that's right. You work and then watch the replay. Yeah, thank you. Always look forward to your comments, my friend. Off the Ground is way more rocking than Flowers. Yeah, I think so. Get Out of My Way is definitely, a rocker, but not in the sense of like, Junior's Farm or Hi, Hi, Hi or Girls School, you know. Hope we get a new Stones album soon. Yeah, so what has it been, 2 years since Hackney Diamonds? I do know Paul played bass on 2 songs, right? And one of them was on Hackney Diamonds, and I think they're saving the next one for the new album. Ali says, "Are we thinking new album September, then Wings archive documentary in November?" I'm thinking early fourth quarter. I'm thinking early fourth quarter, and hopefully it gets announced, by the end of summer. By the end of summer, but but if he was going to tour the end of this year, usually an announcement would have been made by now. I mean, we're on the 6th month of the year already, So I don't know is one of the best summer songs by Paul. Yeah, I still haven't really come to fully appreciate that song yet. As with a lot of McCartney recordings history, his live performances of newer release material shines better live. Example, We Got Married, Get Out of My Way, off Up Close. Yeah. I think, unfortunately, I didn't get to see that 89-90 tour. But he didn't play Get Out of My Way during the 93 tour. So when I went in 93, he wasn't playing that song. So, oh well. Doc says, people work? I guess, maybe. Unless you're a retired person like a few people that are in this chat, right? Tony says, Tom, what exactly does adult contemporary mean? Is that soft pop rock, whatever you call it? I don't see what's wrong. I'm not saying anything was wrong with it. I'm just saying I don't like it. That's it. There's nothing wrong with adult contemporary, but you can't compare the rockers from that era to the rockers of the 70s. I just think there's no way you can say Get Out of My Way is as strong of a rocker as like Junior's Farm or Hi, 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 a Girls School, like I said. I just don't see. Maybe it's just a production. But what say you guys? I mean, do you think Get Out of My Way is like a rocker compared to Junior's Farm or Girls School or even Jet or 1985? I don't think so. Lynn says we need the new album for. Yes, that's right. We need a new album. Where is it, Paul? Come on. We're all patiently waiting for this album that you said you were going to be finishing in January. Where is it? We're now in June. Flowers in the Dirt is a poor man's off the ground. There you go. How you doing, Joe? Joe, I enjoyed your chat with Aaron Badgley. So check that out, everybody. Go to Joe's horror channel. Was it Mr. Mayo? I don't know what it is. This one. Let me know in the comments what it is, and I'll plug it. But our friend Aaron Badgley is also a horror fan, so I'm really happy that Joe found somebody that he can bounce off with the horror films for his movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo. That's what it is, right? Mr. Cinemayo. See here. It's been a very, very. Ollie says it's been a very long time since we got a new Macca solo song. A record amount of time. Yeah, I hate these long stretches. I really do. Paul's. I don't understand why you need a 5-year stretch, especially if you're a Paul McCartney. But it's happened before. We've had long stretches in between albums as well in the past, so it's nothing really new. All right. say hellos. Henry says, isn't it crazy that we're talking about people who were making music in the 60s releasing albums? Yeah, exactly. It is crazy. It is crazy. It is. Let's see here. You know which songs George Martin rejected for Tug of War? All the ones that ended up being on Pipes of Peace. Off the Ground does rock more than Flowers, but not really quality rockers, and generally the songs are way weaker than those on Flowers. James says, getting closer to retirement. There you go. I like the emphasis on getting closer. That's awesome. Get On My Way is a good rocker. Needed more horns. Okay. Well, again, if you enjoyed this song, I've come to appreciate Get Out of My Way more these years. Mr. Ling says, I suspect the McCartney album will be a Christmas release. Okay. Well, do you really want to bundle? I mean, when you think about it, I guess maybe it does make sense that here he's going to put out a documentary maybe in November, and then in December you put out, a documentary about the past, and then, in December maybe you do a new album. I mean, when you look at it that way, I guess it does make sense. I mean, Mr. Mayo says, Get Out of My Way is a way weak rocker, but at least it's something. Okay. Good point. Let's see here. James says 89 and 93 tours lacked not having live horns. Yeah, Wix was doing the horns on the keyboards, right? So, it didn't have that full sound. But and that's a funny thing, because it's not like he couldn't afford, 3 or 4 brass players. Beetle Eddie, how you doing? Hi, Tom. I think he is taking his time on a new album because maybe he thinks it will be his last. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. I think Paul is still talented enough to where he could put out an album every other year if he wanted to. But he is at such a high level. And I think he still takes criticism too hard, and I think, he's like, I think Joe has said this a few times, where I think he's really concentrating on this album and making sure that it's a quality album. I think I rate Off the Ground higher than Flaming Pie. I don't think I do. Even though I don't think I do think Flowers might be a tad better than Off the Ground. I remember when the box set came out, and I was reevaluating Flowers in the Dirt. I think I really, really enjoyed the album. I think I really, really enjoyed the album. See here, Henry. I've been getting into 70s exploitation films recently. I watched both the Hills Have Eyes movies last week. That's cool. I love me some 70s exploitation films. Absolutely love them. Yeah, and whether it was black exploitation or non-exploitation, whatever kind of exploitation you have, I'm all about it. Tony says, I don't compare the 90s Paul to 70s Paul. He was an older man. Okay. That doesn't mean you can't, rock like you did. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I mean, there's the Stones rock, I think, on, just as good as they did and have done in the past. I mean, they've definitely gone through their changes over the years, and so has Paul. But why can he rock? I think he rocks, with this new band better than he did with. I shouldn't say new, because he's been with them for 25 years, but I think this band, when they recorded with Paul, for like something like Sliding, I think, rocks 10 times more than say Get Out of My Way. Let's not settle for something. Let's see here. Okay. Hey Tom, how you been? Thanks for showing up. Maybe Paul should start doing EPs like Ringo, so the fans don't have to wait so long. That's an interesting perspective. That's an interesting take for sure. Let's see here. Owen with the hot takes. Yeah. Let's see here. Tim says I put side 2 flowers on when I need it. Motor Love will put you to sleep, won't it? Let's see here. Other than this one and put it there, I like way more songs Off the Ground than Flowers. Okay. That's fine. For me, the ballads on Off the Ground make it outstanding. I owe it all to you, Golden Earth Girl. Yeah, Wine Dark. Yeah, I love those 3 tracks as well. So yeah, I'll say that the ballads on Off the Ground are stronger than the ones. Even though I do like We Got Married, I do consider that a ballad. Let's see here. Hello, Mike. What's going on, my friend? What is going on? Let's see here. Okay. Doc says, I don't want McCartney records to put me to sleep. That's what Air Supply is for. I was watching an Air Supply video not long ago. The one that goes, you can't fool me. I've been loving you too long. What's that one called? Started so easy. You want Lost in Love. Now, if you watch that video for Lost in Love, there's a guitar player behind the singer, and he looks identical to Larry Graves when Larry was younger, the Canadian Stud Muffin. So I've been meaning to send that video to the Stud Muffin to ask him if that was. I know it wasn't him, but I mean it was his doppelganger, and I thought just laugh my ass off every time I watch that video. Because I love that song, Lost in Love. I think it's a fantastic song. Let's see here. Henry, Paul should stop doing live shows. Honestly, his voice is frail. Studio recordings will help his voice with mixing, auto-tune. 10 years, he might end up looking like Frankie Valli. I don't know about that, but Paul won't stop. Okay, and Henry, when we're all there in the stadium, seeing him live, we're not going to care. Okay, we're not. All right. And for the people that don't go to his, if he does tour again, if people don't go, don't worry, because it's going to sell out. Let's see here. Hot Take Ling does it again. Absolutely. I really love Wine Dark Open Sea. Lynn says, yeah, I think it's a fantastic one. That's one thing. That's one of the things Steve Holly said about the 79 tour is that he enjoyed having the horns behind it while playing. Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. I think Paul wants to do another, do a better than Ringo's last. I hope it comes out before he does. Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, listen, a lot of people like the Look Up album, and I'm happy about that. But let's not ever think that Ringo. Okay, look, I don't think any of Ringo's albums. I mean, I guess maybe the Ringo album. I can guess you could maybe put aside a McCartney record, but I don't ever see a time where you can say that Ringo did better than Paul. My Dark Open Sea, a stunning piece, jaw-dropping beauty. Yes, there you go. I love it. Yeah, Only Mama Knows rocks too. Yeah, and I think that was the band, his current band on that song. And now that one rocks closer to what he did in the 70s. All right, and he was older than when he had that band in the late '80s and early '90s. Always been a big fan of Driving Rain. Review on my channel. Yeah, I know you've been a big fan of that one. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sliding cut me some slack are on another level. And Sliding, as we learned, was the band. That song came from the Egypt Station sessions, and so it really shouldn't have been put on McCartney 3. Brooks, how you doing, Brooks? Hey, Tom. How did you pack and ship your Paul collection when you moved last year? Got a big move coming. Well, carefully, very carefully. You just gotta, find the right boxes. Like a lot of pieces, like this piece, I put in between blankets. I undid this display piece, and I put it in between blankets, I think. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on what it is. I mean, a lot of the books and whatnot that I have back there, I mean, those were just, they were just, put in boxes with the rest of the books, really. So yeah, I mean, then I'm just really careful, with my stuff when I move, as you should be. That's great. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that he's been doing that. I think that's really cool. Let's see here. And nothing too much out of sight. Yep, that's a good rocker. Let's see here. Okay, Billy Tone and Joe seem to be going a little back and forth here about this. I think that's fantastic. Nothing, Joe. My Brave Face, Figure of 8. We Got Married. Distractions. Put it there. This one, Rough Ride. You Want Her To. That Day Is Done. Man, it's a fine album. I think it is. Let's see here. Absolutely. On Only Mama Knows. Joe, it rocks. Yes, agreed. Look Up was Ringo's best album since Goodnight B&O. Not since Time Takes Time or Choose Love. I can have Figure of 8 on repeat for hours, but which one? We know there's a couple other, you're talking about the single version, because that one tends to rock. I think that's a different version of the one that appears on the album. Nothing in terms of rock. Sure, there's Figure of 8, but it's not much of a rocker. Yeah. Yes, Doc. I am drinking. This is one of my favorites. It's Black Cherry, Fago. So yes, I'll take a sip. Hello, Jackson. How are you doing? Hi, Tom. Are you related to John? I'm related to everybody with that last name. Everybody. Beatles, is Ringo album better than Driving Rain? Yeah, maybe. So We Got Married and Had No Horns live in 1989. Is that a question? Yeah, I mean, there's probably it's probably Wicks, right? Lynn says, I don't care if Paul never does another new rocker because I love his other stuff just as much. Okay, I like that. Joe says, what's this about Look Up, Tom? Are you still underwhelmed because it's not full? No, I've come to really appreciate the album a lot more, Joe. I've said this a couple times. Maybe you haven't heard me, but yeah, I like Look Up a lot more now after my disappointment with it not being what I wanted with the country album. But I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic album. All the best from Sweden. Always great tracks on Paul album. Yes, how you doing, Kent? Thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you for being here. Let's see here, Sarah. How you doing, Sarah? Just got finished reading McCartney Legacy 2. It took me 2 months because I kept looking things up after I would read it. Yeah, and that's what I did with Chapter 1 too. Chapter 1 was really interesting. It made me go back and look things up too. It made me buy, because in Chapter 1 they talk about Paul giving another day to a movie called The Raging Moon with Malcolm McDowell. So I had bought that movie, which I've come to really like. I really like that movie because I'm a big Malcolm McDowell fan. But I can see how the song, parts of it did work for the film, but other parts didn't really work for the film. I bought the Live and Let Die book, because I wanted to read it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah, those books have made me go back and whether it's listening to a track, with the different set of ears, just because of what they were giving us, in the book. So I definitely get that. Although, this time around, we had a little less time, so we had to read the book a little bit quicker because we had them already booked and we had to finish. So with Volume 2, I didn't do that as much because, like I said, we were under time constraints and we needed to interview them. So we had to finish the book, sooner. So we couldn't really do that. But I'm glad you did. I'm glad you read it, and I hope you really liked it. I wish Wanderlust was on Wingspan. Why? I can understand because of the story, but let's not make any mistakes. It's a Paul solo song, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Those solo songs being on Wingspan. Again, I think Wingspan was a lost opportunity. The record set was good, right? But again, I thought it was a lost opportunity. Here we go. There's other great Wings songs that they could have put on this, okay? You didn't need No More Lonely Nights play-out version on this, okay? It's not a Wings song, right? You didn't need Tug of War on here because it's not a Wings song, okay? So there's some tracks on here. You have No More Lonely, the single version of No More Lonely Nights, on the A side, or the hit side. Okay, so you got Listen to What the Man Said, Band on the Run, Another Day, Live and Let Die, Jet. Okay, great. Then you got My Love, Silly Love Songs, Pipes of Peace. Why? You didn't need Pipes of Peace on here. I know it was a hit, right? But it's Wingspan, okay? It's not solo Paul. Then you got Sea Moon. And side C, you got Hi, 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 Let 'Em In, Good Night Tonight, Junior's Farm, Moloch and Tyre. Fine. Side D, Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey, which I guess I'm fine with a little luck, coming up. Which again, if you're going to celebrate Wingspan, then you do the live version. I can't remember if this is the live version on here or the studio version. No More Lonely Nights on here, again. So I guess there's so many more really good Wings tracks that you could have put on here. Take It Away is on here. Okay. So as much as I love Take It Away, it didn't need to be on here, right? This is where you should have put Water Spout. Okay. This was a great opportunity to put some unreleased tracks on here, like Water Spout or Boil Crisis, or some of those tracks that didn't make the Red Rose Speedway double album, right? This was a great opportunity that he just totally shit the bed on this one. Okay, and the documentary. All right. Hey, Duke, Mr. Gargalino, I hope you're having a good birthday week. Joe versus Tone or Rocky Bottom around 10. Okay. Let's see here. John Hunyadi was a famous Hungarian guy who helped turn the tide of the Ottomans' invasion of Europe at the same time frame as Vlad Dracula. Yeah, and I also know that there's a Castle Hunyadi in Romania too. That one day I would love to get to. Okay, Owen says nope. Good night, Vienna. Okay. Let's see here. Which songwriting partnership benefited McCartney more, the one with Lane or Costello? Well, I don't really consider Lane a excuse me, a great songwriter. So I mean, I guess you can say maybe his collaboration with Costello. Only because maybe that just gave him a little bit more confidence. As we know, since we read in the McCartney legacy books that he's dealt with confidence issues in the past. So I would like to think it was the Costello. And plus, I don't think McCartney ever really took his songwriting partnership with Denny Laine very seriously, anyways. The 12-inch of Figure of Eight remix is probably the best version. Okay. I had to go back and listen to that one. See, I might say Costello. Yep. Not saying Ringo Rama is better than McCartney releases, but I really enjoy, or it's really enjoyable. I enjoyed Mark Hudson production work with Ringo. Yeah. I pretty much enjoy all those albums with Mark Hudson. And Tone's agreeing with Lynn. The 3-inch. Yeah, I have that 3-inch CD version of Figure of Eight. Yeah. James says, "Yeah, Wicks indeed on the horns." I was thinking about "So Like Candy." What a gorgeous song. Yeah, yeah. So Elvis Costello, he ended up taking "So Like Candy." Was it on "Muddy Like a Rose"? Let me know if I'm right or wrong, but he did a great, fantastic video for it. I love the production on it. I love the way he sings that song. I like "So Like Candy." I really like Elvis Costello, what he did with "So Like Candy." Me, Mr. Bayo says Tony D's "So Like Candy" should have been on Flowers, along with "Back on My Feet." Once upon a long ago, "Flying to My Home" might have improved it. Could have, or you could have just left "Motor of Love" off the album. Must admit, I haven't played Look Up since February. Liverpool 8 is a much better album than people remember. Possibly. I still haven't gotten to Legacy 2, in the middle of Off the Ground still, and also have Ian Leslie's John and Paul. But yeah, I got that right here. John and Paul, Love Story and Songs. So yeah, I need to get to that too. A lot of books. All right. Let's see here. James says Figure of Eight live when Hamish and Paul sing on the same microphone as Electric. Too bad they didn't do more of that. Yeah, maybe, but we're going to the concerts to see Paul. Not see Hamish sing on the same mic as Paul. I agree with you, Tone. I love Liverpool 8. It's a feel-good album. Okay. Sarah says, I didn't realize Paul originally wrote Let 'Em In for Ringo, or with Ringo in mind. Yeah, I mean, that has come up before. I think Luca Perazzi had brought that up too in his 2012 book, his recording sessions book. Thank you, Tone. Yeah, I think it was a total missed opportunity. Let's see. Is Wingspan is what got me into Wings and Paul solo. Before that, I was Beatles purist. Only listened to the group stuff. Okay, well that's great, and that's a good point because it's a like a greatest hits or a compilation, and that's what good compilations do, right? I mean, they do get you into the albums, or at least that's what it should do. You get a compilation, and you should want to check out the albums that they came from, and I have done that with many greatest hits or compilations. So it did its job then with you, Sarah. James says Wings did rehearse Wanderlust, though couldn't put that out. Maybe on a Wings. Yeah. So because Wanderlust has its roots, in Wings. I can understand why you would put that maybe on Wingspan. Let's see, I never had a problem with Wingspan, but I can understand your opinion about it. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Let's see here. Tony says, because Wingspan was my intro to Paul solo, I didn't hear Wanderlust until many years later. Okay. Jackson, is your Wingspan copy? It is. It is. And I'm kind of like breaking one of my cardinal rules because I do tend to play every record that I buy. It's just that with this, I'm kind of like leaving this for like an investment or a just because I already have everything, here on LP already, right? So there's really no point into me opening this and playing it, which I still may someday. I still may. Tone says the weird thing on Wingspan is maybe I made a studio version when they could have put the wings right. Another case in point where another missed opportunity because it's a top 10 hit, right? That could have easily put in place of Pipes of Peace, right? Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Although, even though I do prefer the studio version over the live version, it would have made more sense to do that. Yes. Eat at Home Live is fantastic. Eat at Home is fantastic. That water spout is so overly praised around here. Well, okay, fine. It might be. However, I still think this would have been the perfect place to put it. It almost made all the best greatest hits album. It didn't. Okay, fine. So this would have been the next best place to put it, because we all know we're not going to get a Back Today or London Town box set. We all know that, right? As I stir the pot on that one. Let's see here, DJ. How you doing, DJ? I love the Wingspan. Okay, then that's how I'm going. But what did you like the documentary and the soundtrack, the albums? Did you like both? What did you like? Duke, you're tired and old. Yes. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. Tony D, the live coming up is on. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tony. Let's see here. Beetle Eddie, do you think that sometimes Paul forgets which songs are Wings songs and which aren't? When he did Too Many People, he says, yes, this is for the Wings fans. Yes. James says, Daytime, Nighttime, Suffering should have been on Wingspan. Well, it is. It is on Wingspan. It is. It's on. It is. Daytime, Nighttime, Suffering is on Wingspan. Okay. So, let's see. Live coming up is Wings. Yeah, I agree. the live coming up is Wings, so therefore it should be on Wingspan. Absolutely. Okay. Whoa. Martin Hecka has been diagnosed with Parkinson's. Okay. Is this brand new news? Let's see. I think Paul working with Denny was mostly Paul fixing Denny's songs up. Well, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it was good that Denny had at least a few things. I mean, Denny did help with Moloch and Tyre. Okay. Denny helped with quite a few songs of Paul's songs on London Town. So sometimes, it could have been the other way as well, Tim. James is saying Lane, okay, just because of their harmonies, okay. Let's see here. Mike was like the Mark Hudson era was awesome. I agree. Hudson albums are my favorite Ringo albums. Cool. Let's see here. I love what Eric Stewart did with Yvonne. No, I do not. I do not like what Eric Stewart did with Yvonne the One. I'm sorry. We're just going to have to disagree with this one, my friend. I do not like 10cc / Eric Stewart's Yvonne the One. Let's see here. Tim says, I've been reading Philip Norman's George book. It's pretty good. Yeah, I still need to pick that up. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Eric lied about not liking reggae. Did he say he didn't like reggae? Eric Stewart? Let's see here. Richard James, Tom, do you like? I do, and I think Kid A is a masterpiece. I love their album Kid A. Oh, this is Beatle. To be fair, Graham Goldman wrote that lyric. There you go. Are you a fan of? Hello, Melody. If Melody is watching, hello. And I've never had a problem with Melody. I think Melody is a good guy. I love his knowledge of music. He has a great wealth, great knowledge of music. I've been reading Alan Clayton's biography of Paul. Which one is that? Do I have that one? There's so many I can't remember. Let's see, Parkinson's horrible. Neil Diamond, yeah, he pretty much had to retire from the road and all that stuff. Yeah. 10cc did more reggae songs than Dreadlock. All right. Wow, here's an interesting one. I probably, and I'm not going to answer that. The Skylar Moody, the future of Beatles fans. Hopefully she's not the only one. Hopefully there's more than just her. Because we need more Beatle fans. I like that she's helping, spreading the Beatles music to younger fans. But I hope that she is not, the last Beatles fan, if you want to put it that way. We need more. We need more Beatles fans. All right. And she's not the only one that's, bringing, music, the Beatles to future generations. I think we're all doing that. Joe's doing it. I'm doing it. Tone's doing it. Two Legs is doing it. Andy, Tony D, on his channel, we're all bringing, spreading the Beatles word to anybody that will listen. And hopefully there's younger people out there that are. Hello. See, Doc says, just thinking Wingspan must be a quite unsatisfactory comp, or else I wouldn't see it in the store so often. Well, okay, so let's say if you do see Wingspan in thrift stores often, let's hope because that people ended up going out and buying the albums, so they don't need it, or they feel they don't need it. Okay, I've done that before. Right? You have a greatest hits. You've gotten all the albums that those songs are from. What's the point of having the greatest hits? Unless you're an Uber fan that has to have it. You're a completist and you have to have everything. Let's see here. Henry says Richard 2023. Okay, all right. I agree about water spout, Joe. It's an outtake for a reason. Yeah, but still, it would have been nice to have been put on Wingspan. Water spout should have been released. Yep. Water spout is still not official release, though, right? Well, so it would have been an official release. That's why you put it on Wingspan. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. No, he needs the archives. I know. I was just trying to stir the pot there. Like I said, I keep saying I want to be wrong. Okay, but again, I think the archive collection is dead. Is Girls' School on Wingspan? I don't think it is. Was it? No. Girlfriend is on there, but not Girls' School. So Give Ireland Back to the Irish isn't on here. That was a single. Mary Had a Little Lamb's not on here. That was a single. There's other singles that could have been on here. Nothing. You could have had Arrow Through Me on here. There's no Arrow Through Me. So, oh well. But it's on Pure McCartney. The Wingspan documentary is great, but it focuses more on Paul and Linda than the other Wings. That's why it's flawed. Okay. It's a missed opportunity, as I say. Bad. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Hey, look, we all get something wrong from time to time. That's why you're all here. It's to help each other out, remember things. Okay. Are there any Three Dog Night fans here? They have a new album coming. I could give two shits about Three Dog Night, to be honest with you. I know their hits. I've listened to their greatest hits, many times, but I could care less. But I know there's going to be people out there that love Three Dog Night, and that's okay because Uncle Paul loves Three Dog Night. One and a third Dog Night. Anyways, Tim. Okay, Tim says, what I was saying about the working with Denny was that I don't think they wrote together that much and that Denny would bring songs to Paul, like Getting Closer. Okay, I got you. I heard the 10cc version of Jan, and it's a thank you. There you go. I agree with you, Tony. It is awful. Okay, Lynn. I felt that Philip Norman was overcritical about Paul, but haven't read his books on John and George. I mean, but it's okay. It's okay to be critical. It's okay to be critical. Nobody's perfect. Okay? If you don't like something, it's okay. It's okay. All right? It's okay that Joe thinks water spout is overrated or overpraised. It's okay. Let's see here. Can't wait to hear your next interview with Luca regarding Press the Playbook. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Press the Playbook. Yeah. We love Luca. We love Luca, having Luca on. Anytime, we have him on, we have a great time. I haven't heard melodies since Rachel's Ghost. Okay. Let's see here. Trust me, the future of the Beatles is very secure. I've been through this since the 70s. Thank you, Uncle Paul. Tony says, Tom, any idea what you will discuss at the fest? Yes. We already know what we'll be discussing at the fest, but we're not going to say just yet. Let's see here. In terms of what's on it, Wingspan is a great comp, but I just do what it says on the tin, as we say here. Yeah. So you're okay with it then having the solo McCartney songs on there? Joseph, Mary Had a Little Lamb shouldn't be anywhere near anywhere other than the single. Yes, I know you're not a fan of Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's okay. Owen says, "Give Ireland had to be dropped because it might have been trued as IR propaganda. Remember, this was only 2 or 3 years after the Good Friday Agreement." Okay. Okay, but at least it made the wildlife box set, right? So it has been remastered and all that stuff. So I like around 4 or 5 songs of Three Dog Night. There you go, the hits, right? And those hits never made me want to listen to their albums. Okay. Let's see. Got to go, James. Thank you. Great midweek chat. Be well. Thank you, my friend. Let's see here. Did you watch the Paul Rubens documentary? Are you saying that it's a fact? And this fact stuff is stupid. To be honest with you, when we end a statement with fact, there's times where you putting it at the end of the statement, Richard, just makes no sense. I love you, but when we keep on saying fact, you can't put fact after every statement, because no, I didn't watch it yet, so it's not a fact. But I am rich, but I am interested in seeing it, and that's a fact. But sometimes this whole fact after thing craze, I think is a little annoying. Richard, the Rubens documentary is outstanding. Okay, well, so then you've seen it. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I love that HBO special he did back in the 80s with the Pee Wee Playhouse thing. I'm a huge fan of that. I got it on DVD somewhere, but I love it. Ling says, some people don't like Wes Anderson. It takes all sorts. I love Wes Anderson. I know Asteroid City wasn't my favorite of his filmography, but I will be seeing the Phoenician Scheme this weekend. Probably Sunday night, I'll go see the Phoenician Scheme. I think I'm seeing it. No, actually, I'm seeing the Phoenician Scheme Thursday night. I don't think the Al Jolson fan channel is doing it. See here, saw Pee Wee growing up with my dad. I had no idea he was hiding so much. Yeah. See here, Richard Tom, how come you were never a guest on? I never watched. Be honest with you, I never watched, and that's all I'm going to say. There's reasons why I never watched, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Sarah says, I hope I get to talk about something at the fest, but if not, I will still be there. I'm glad. I always love seeing you at the fest, Sarah. So hopefully you will be on a panel, because you definitely contribute a wealth of knowledge to those panels. So hopefully you will there. So you're definitely going to the Chicago Fest. I'm not too expensive. Yeah, I enjoy. So if I go, Joe, I'm only going to go for the one day. I'm going to drive, because it's only a 5-hour drive. So I'm going to drive, do the panel, spend maybe a couple hours there, and then head back. And that's only because it's a short drive. That's the only reason. So I'm not staying the night or anything. like that because, like you said, I mean, it is expensive. It is expensive. So I'm only going for the one day, Joe. Let's see what are talking about, Doc. I love it. All right. See, Richard. But Joe, you already booked your hotel. But yeah, you can easily unbook it. Let's see here. Let's see, Joe. You're not going. Yep. Joe decided not to go to the fest this year, and I get it. It is very expensive. What's going to take? Who's going to take your place at the Talk More Talk panel? My place or Joe's place? That's not up to me. That's not my decision, Richard. Let's see here. Tony D. Well, Joe, it was great to meet you last year. Let's see here. Doc says, Rubens, Doc, great, but crummy quality clips, and Paul seemed grumpy. Yeah. Yeah. Richard says, Joe, will you change your mind once you find out that that the great Eddie Deason will be back? I think he already knew that. I think he knew that, Richard. Tim says, well, if Paul solo songs can't be on Wingspan, then I guess Give Peace a Chance, Cold Turkey, and Instant Karma should be on the Beatles 67. Right? I mean, Give Peace a Chance was Lennon McCartney co-write originally. Anyways. Tone says Wingspan. No, I don't think the solo songs should be on it, but the songs are great, so it's a great listen. But it's they're not Wings, right? Exactly. There's a Monkeys doc. Okay, I'm glad there's people out there that love the Monkeys, but I, for one, am not a Monkeys fan. Good. Okay. Hi Tom, how you doing, Laura? I like Three Dog Night cover of it's for you. Better than Celia's Black. Really? Okay. Let's see. Right, fact doesn't. I know. Yeah. Phoenicia's Scheme is not a good film. Oh well, that's too bad you didn't like it. I'm still going to go see it so I can form my own opinion on it. But it's good to know that you didn't enjoy it. So unless you're just being sarcastic. But anyways, either way, and that's one of the things too is like if I'm interested to seeing a film, okay. I generally don't read reviews until after I've seen the film. And if someone has seen it before me, and if they didn't like it and they tell me they didn't like it, I'm still going to go see it because I'm still very much interested in that director because I think he does make good movies. But because I'm interested, I want to see his movies. In my opinion, he's only made one really bad movie and one so-so movie, and then the rest I've really enjoyed. Not everybody has a good day at the office, right? So yes, thank you. Thank you, Joe, for pointing this out. Richard is imitating Melody, who always put fact at the end of his comments. Fact. There you go, and that is a fact. That is a fact. He did. Eric Stewart and Pew Pageant worked on Press the Flay. All right, listen, enough with the fact, okay? All right. Yes, it is a fact. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, I know. I always love hanging out with Joe. But I totally understand. Totally understand. I mean, the price of admission, I think is overblown. as well. Let's see. When Stewart Sutcliffe quit the Beatles, McCartney took. Okay. All right. Seriously, I never find out if I'm on a panel until 1 week. Well, that's the thing is like we, same with us with Two Legs. It's like we propose what we want to do, right? But we don't really necessarily, know 100% if we're going to get it until that week of when the schedule gets released. That's kind of crummy too. That's kind of crummy as well. Okay, this is going to be the last fact, and because this is a fact, and I agree with that. So thank you, Henry. Let's see here. Tone, will you be on any panels? Stick around and find out. That's for Tone to say. I think there's going to be an announcement. See, Mayo says meeting Tone was the reason I wanted to go to the fest. Honestly, yeah. And I do think Mazzy is going to be at the fest as well. Let's see here. If Joe isn't going, I'm going to go ahead and get a refund. Sarah says, I live 5 hours south of Chicago. I drive up there and use hotel points to stay for free at a hotel close by. Yeah, I get you. I get you. I mean, especially doing it twice a year, right? I can do it. I mean, I can definitely have no problem doing a fest, once a year, getting the hotel, and all that stuff. But you're talking about doing it twice a year, right? And plus, you're in 2 different states that you don't live in, So let's see here. Can take both our places. Let's see here. It sucks how expensive. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm not gonna mention that one. Sorry, Beetle Eddie. Hopefully Darren will be. I don't know. Yep. There you go, Joe. I knew you were gonna do that. You're very predictable, my friend. I would rather listen to Gorillas than the Monkey. Let's see here. Henry says, Tom, I remember you once said that when Danny Jones passed, you just said 1 down, 3 to go. No, did I say that? No, I think what I said was after Mike Dolan's passed, I said 3 down, 1 to go. That's what I said. Okay. That's what I said. Why do so many people write fact? Okay, so Joe explained that earlier. There's a person named Mellow D that was a frequent guest on Joe's channel, me and Mr. Mayo, and after every comment that he would write in the comment section, he would always put fact. So that became a thing that everybody would like to. I don't know whether they were messing around or imitating him or whatever. So that's why people are putting fact. I'll behave. Joe, I have a reformed character. Joe says reformed character is another guy's phrase. Let's see. Okay, we gotta get out of this. Let's see. Tom, how you doing? Do people who speak on discussion panels at the fest get free admission? Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Says, no, I generally think it is Anderson's worst flick. I was disappointed by it, but it has funny jokes in it. No other spoilers. So you liked Asteroid City more than you liked the Phoenician Scheme, because at the moment I think Asteroid City could be his worst film. Let's see here. Henry says I was in my mom's garden. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Price of Mission Hotel. Yeah, exactly. Since his Melody always types his comments all in caps, which I find very annoying as well. All right, well, let's just get away from Melody as well. Let's see here. Tony D, I'm excited for the next Yorgos. Yeah, I like Yorgos Emma Stone movie. Yeah. Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Lobster, Poor Things. I think Kinds of Kindness wasn't the best film, but it was very interesting. He says, can't wait for Eddington. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Let's see here. De Niro gave an impression speech. Cans are impassioned, yeah, advising viewers to fight. Yeah, yes, he did. I did watch it on YouTube. Do you think do people who speak on discussions at the fest get? I think no, not everybody gets free admission. I think one way you do get free admission is if you pay for a table. If you're an author, okay, if you're an author and you buy a table, and you have to buy a table to sell books, I think you get free admission that way, Tom. Okay. Let's see here. As he is going to do signings, maybe. I don't know. You'll have to ask him. I think he's just going to for the fun of it. How long do you think it will take to play every Paul studio album, including Beatles? Well, let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay, let's see here. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that person's gone. So Tim says, I don't know if Mazzy can survive the Hawk. Okay, hold on here. Sorry about Richard. Tom, were you sad when David? Absolutely. I thought David Lynch was one of the most creative artists in film history. Absolutely. Yeah, I was. I only ate hotel. Okay. Tone, I think I might be on a panel, but not confirmed yet. Tony D is going mainly to meet everyone, not interested in the Z-listers guest. Yeah. Let's see. Seriously, I do not get free admission. Usually, I buy a table to sell my book, which costs about the same as getting a ticket. There you go. Sarah is an author, and she has sold her books there. So there you go. Owen Link says, I like the elements in Astro City. Okay. I need to see it again. I know Criterion they just announced the Isle of Dogs and the French Dispatch for those films that come out in September. I haven't seen those two films yet, so I'm looking forward to that. Let's see here. I figured Tone, but you could do well on a collector's pen. Absolutely. I would welcome Tone on a collector's panel if I was to join him on that. I think that would be really cool. All right. Well, that's going to be between you. I'm not going to keep reading all these comments that you want to say to Joe Henry. No offense. Owen says, I think Anderson lost it creatively a while ago. He peaked at, but yeah, and Moonrise Kingdom, is that what it's called? I forgot what that was. Which one was? I really liked. Let me look this up real quick. Wes Anderson filmography, featured films. Moonrise Kingdom I thought was really good, and the Grand Budapest Hotel was excellent. Yeah. Let's see here. The first movie I saw of Wes Anderson was Rushmore, and I adore that film. Absolutely adore Rushmore. I think Royal Tenenbaums is great too. I would say the my least favorite of that period of his films, let's say Bottle Rocket to the Darjeeling Limited. Let's say that's his first wave of films or whatever. Is The Life Aquatic. That's not my favorite. Let's see here. Richard said, "Well, Tom, will you see Morrissey on his upcoming U.S. tour?" Yeah, he announced more tour dates for September. He is going to Chicago. That's the closest he's coming to me. That's September on a Saturday, so that's going to be tough to get it off work. So I'm probably, unfortunately, going to have to miss that. Tom, are you and Andy going to get Macca Uber fans t-shirt? You know what? That is a great idea. Because I did tease on the last episode, I did tease, about this whole, how many, or the different style of McCartney fans on the last episode, and what are we? I mean, what is Andy and I and the whole McCartney fan, and where do we rank? And I guess we are. I guess we are Macca Uber fans, right? But why does it have to be? Why does it have to be labeled like music? Why can't we just be fans and be happy? That our favorite musician is still putting out music. Let's see here. I do want to buy singles at the fest. Go for it, my friend. I spoke to Dolan's, and they told me even Mikey had to be for admission to the fest. Okay, I don't know if I believe that. Let's see here. It takes 3 licks to get to Tootsie Pop. Thank you, and that's a fact. Let's see here. Thanks for. All right, fine. Dumping vinyl. What's up? Making the plans for our road trip, Henry. Okay. Since I still need to see the French Dispatch, yeah, I know you're a big fan of Wes too. So and I like that. So cool. This is one battle after another with Leo and Sean Penn looks great. Yeah, I agree. How does Wes Anderson afford to have 20 A-listers in every film he does? I don't know. Because it's almost kind of like the Woody Allen thing, right? I mean, Woody Allen, because he's got a great what's the word I'm looking for? Why can't I spit this word out? He's got great chemistry with his actors, right? He's got a great reputation. So people want to work with him, right? Kind of like when people wanted to work with Woody Allen, so they don't mind working for scale. Right. So that's why he gets these A-listers, because he's got a great reputation and people want to work with him. Don't worry, be happy. Absolutely. Tom, I heard you say this before. Is it true that you also hate? I'm not a big fan of Supertramp. No, not a big fan of Supertramp. Joe. But you are an Uber fan who aren't psychopaths. You can criticize when necessary. Okay, yes, I think that's good. Thank you. I'm glad you recognize that, Joe. Thank you. Joseph, did you see the last 5 McCartney seasons? Yes. So I mentioned that at the beginning of the show that the next batch of the SHM CDs have been announced for July, which is Paul is Live, Flaming Pie, Chaos and Creation, New, and the Amoeba Gig. I really find it odd. I mean, I have the whole series so far, and I'm going to get this next batch too. But I find it odd. Excuse me. With the choices that were made for the series to be released, it's just odd. And we'll be talking more about that eventually on Two Legs, on a future episode of Two Legs. How you doing, Nolan? Tommy, you need to get the ball of yours out of McCartney's behind Sir what? Okay, fair. All right. Right. Hold on a second here. Tim says Wes Anderson's like Batman in '66. Everybody wants to be in one of this. Yeah, it was the same thing with the Muppets. Everybody wanted to be in the Muppet Show there in the late '70s. That original run. If you saw that documentary, and I think that's on Disney Plus. They're talking about how successful the Muppets was, and that everybody wanted to be on that show, but they had already, booked people. Let's see. He was trying so hard to get a rise out of two legs. Macca fans don't need to be put in buckets. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's see here. Uber McCartney fan here. My favorite singer songwriter ever, and music helped me through dark. Yep, I can understand. I understand that. You know. Let's see. Goodbye Stranger by Supertramp is one of my favorites. Yeah, I mean I know the song and it's fine. Tim, did you see Asteroid City? Let's see here. I couldn't care less about the Macca CD releases again. Yep. But see, this is where, I can criticize the series, but I still buy it. See here. Yes, Henry, I liked it, but didn't love it. I need to see it again. Same here. Same here. I need to see it again, too. Sarah says, I wish John Lennon did the Muppet Show. That would have been so amazing. I think that would have been a great, great episode. Absolutely. Yeah. Lennon would have been fantastic. Then he probably could have had Sean on there too, interacting with the Muppets. Henry Edward Norton has been in like 5 or 6 Wes Anderson films. Has he? I know he was in Moonrise Kingdom. I love Edward Norton. I think he's a fantastic actor. I was so excited he got nominated for the Dylan bio. A complete unknown. Joseph said the choices are the archive and the color remix LPs. Beatles just put out a video with this predictions explained. Okay, I've seen a few of his videos. Nolan, a once respected commentator, now a worthless troll. Yes, well, I'm just letting him have his fun for now. I believe John would have done children's entertainment had he lived long. Yeah, I mean, maybe he would have done. Well, I mean, that's the thing is he had time to do shows like I know he was being a father to Sean. He had time to do shows like the Muppet Show or Sesame Street, the Electric Company. Friendly Giant. I mean, whatever. It's just he had time to do those, but I don't even know if he was approached to do those kind of shows or not, but who knows? Oh, Doc. I'm not even going to read that, Doc, but that's funny. Anyways, but hey, listen, man, we're an hour and 43 minutes into this. This has been fantastic. I mean, the last hour has gone by so quickly with a lot of great comments and questions, so keep them coming. Let's see here. Here's time my thoughts on the famous video of Yoko screaming at the art gallery. It's really soothing and beautiful. Okay. All right. We're not going to play. Bye-bye. Sarah says, I could see a skit where Yoko was giving Piggy advice on how to not break up the Muppets. That's funny. Sarah, I like that. Sarah. Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go 16 more minutes. We're gonna do an even 2 hours here, and okay. Joe says, listen to Yoko's "Goodbye Stannis." That will bring a true tear to your eye. Okay. Have a good day. Yes, you too. And that gets repeated somehow. So, yep. Okay, guys, 15 more minutes. So we're gonna go, 10 minutes, and then I'll do like 5 minutes of wrapping up or whatever. But this was great. Unironically, I really like Walking on Thin Ice. Really captures the vibe of the 1980 New York City. If you know what I mean, I don't. And do you know what you mean? I mean, how do you know what the vibe of New York 1980 New York was? I mean, you weren't even alive in 1980, right? If I understand correctly, right? You're a youngster. So, I don't know. I do like Walking on Thin Ice, though. I do. Yes. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Sarah says, I went to Yoko's art exhibit in London last summer. It was interesting. Some of it was cool. Some of it I didn't get. Yeah, that's the thing. I just love, how thought-provoking a lot of her stuff is. I know the 70s. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. Fair enough. Joseph says, hey, Tom, thanks for the show. I have to get going. Take care. Joe Allen, everybody. Good. Joseph, no, thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, my friend. Julian, Hold On, better than Hold On by John. I haven't listened to Julian's Hold On, to be honest with you. Jude, the new Julian album is a masterpiece. Haven't listened to it. Let's see here. Julian has some really severe daddy. Okay. Tone says, I went to Yoko's art exhibit in London last year too. Thought it was great to see some of those famous pieces in the flesh. I would love to experience a Yoko exhibit. I would love that. Let's see here. Well, can you blame him? Tone, half a chair still exists. So you're asking Tone that question. Okay. So, all right. Joe, if you're still here, I just finished the Four Musketeers. I watched the Three Musketeers and the Four Musketeers over the last couple nights. Really enjoyed both of them, so I look forward to talking about that soon on the movie chat with you and Tim. So, let's see here. Sarah says, I agreed. Tone gave me a good idea of what John experienced in 1966. If Miss Piggy had crushed on Bert instead of Kermit, she could have broken up Sesame Street. Joe says, I can blame Julian. Long time to grow up and move on. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Hit that like button, guys. It's almost over. 10 more minutes. But thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Doc. It was there. Well, it's a half a room, but the chair was in it. Cool. Tony D says he's over it now. It was great to see him on The View talking about the Beatles. Okay. Half a room. Looking forward to hearing about. Yeah. I think I don't know if you had seen those movies before, Joe, but you being a huge Chuck Heston fan, I was surprised with how big his role was in both films, and well, at least in the first one. His role is bigger in the first one than it is in the second one, but I'll talk more about that Monday. 20D's Allen Ginsberg was in the 1-to-1 movie. Yep, reading a very bizarre poem. Yes. I'm a fan of his Ballad of Skeletons collaboration with Paul. I got to meet Julian and Sean, and they are both incredibly sweet and courteous. Cool. I hope so. Let's see. I've seen clips. Okay. Maybe that's a criterion you can pick up during the half off sale. Let's see here. Henry, Tom, did you know Joe met Roy Schneider, one of the best 70s actors? I do think Joe had mentioned that before. Joe has met so many celebrities. I mean, I can't keep track. Can't keep track of all of them. So, all right, 9 more minutes. Yes. So, again, thank you everybody for being here. This last 2 hours have been a lot of fun. Well, sorry, Paulina. First of all, how are you doing? I'm glad you're here. However, we're not talking about that Musketeers film. We're talking about this 1973 and 1974 film with Michael York and Oliver Reed and Faye Dunaway and Raquel Welch and Charlton Heston. But yeah, there was a Musketeers film with Keither in it, wasn't there? Was it who else? Was it the guy that played Robin in the Batman and Robin movie? Wasn't he in that as well? I don't remember his name. But anyways, yeah, that's funny you brought that up. I really didn't get to talk to Roy. He was quickly signing while on the movie. Oh, he was on a movie set, but I did get a nice autograph. Cool. Tony says, I met James McCartney in concert. He shook my hand and signed my shirt. Nice. Sarah says, I waited in line for the bathroom with Chase McCartney. Yes, you did that perfectly, Sarah. You did that perfectly. Just their hits. I love Whip It. I think Whip It is one of the best singles from the 80s. Best, video. I love Whip It. Don't care for their cover of Can't Get No Satisfaction, though. I think some people like it. I'm not the biggest fan. Pauline says, yeah, Kiefer, Charlie Sheen, Chris O'Donnell. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, and Tim Curry was the villain. Yeah. Let's see, met Robin from Batman and Robin 2. Chris O'Donnell. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah. Yep. I met Sandra Bullock, one of the cutest actors of the 90s. She's still pretty attractive. Okay, guys, we're going to be winding down here. We got 6 minutes. Let's see. Why has James McCartney aged so terribly? Hey, listen, I mean, I'm not going to comment on that, Henry. That's a matter of opinion. We all get different genes. Don't forget, I mean, there's other people in his family. Linda is as well. I mean, there's just so many factors in why people age the way they do. But I'm not going to comment on that. Richard said, I got to high five Sir Paul at the first Bowery show, and when I had his hand, I wouldn't let it go until he pulled away. See, come on, man. Just give him the high five and then be on your way. See, that's see here, Sarah. That must have been a fascinating story. Yep. Let's see here. I don't think James aged terribly. I have a crush on him. He's as handsome. Is he single? I don't know. Let's see here. Henry says, I would love to have met and take a picture of De Niro, but he is incredibly shy. Yeah. Yes. Tone saw James McCartney during soundcheck at the Paul's Live in 02. He went out and came back with a great big bag of takeaway. All right. See here, James is like Bizarro. Damn, Joe. I would never forget being in the same bathroom as Lawrence Juber. Okay. Yes, yeah, I know exactly what you're. You might be shy about some things, but might not be shy about other things, and we know what he's not shy about talking about. Yes. I'm surprised I didn't go ahead and kiss his hand. It's the hand that wrote Old Siam Surfect. I met Denny Lane in the restroom at Beatles Fest in Los Angeles back in cool. Very cool. All four Beatles lived amazing lives. Imagine everywhere you go, girls run after you and try to rip your clothes off. Well, I guess. Did you have a cheeky side glance at you? Oh, it's funny. James McCartney is single, ladies. There you go, Sarah. There you go. So, all right, you guys. Thank you very much. This has been a fun 2 hours. Fun 2 hours. All the comments were great. Thank you for everybody for being here. Uncle Paul, Sarah, Tone, Joe, Doc, Tony D, James, Joseph, so many people. Henry, Tony. Who else am I missing? Tim Allen. Thank you for being here. Doc. We got who else? Mr. Ling, Hot Take Ling. How can we forget Hot Take Ling, the real Jackson? Thank you, Beetle Eddie, Tom, Richard. So many great people being here and giving their comments. I really appreciate that. Tim says, once you attain the height of being a Beatle, you don't need to use the restroom anymore. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, my friend. Yes, and it is the great Tim Allen. Yes. So that were you briefly on? Because I was watching Psycho's Platters there for a little bit last night, and then I left, and then I went back on. Were you on that last night, or when did I last see you, Tim, on somebody's live stream? Was it with the Misfits? Anyways, yeah, thank you everybody. I had a lot of fun with this live cast. Okay, I don't think we're gonna have an episode of Two Legs this weekend, but we'll be back next weekend. Make sure you check out Andy's live stream this coming Sunday. I'm sure we'll be doing something for Paulie's birthday. Not sure just yet, but be on the lookout for that. Yeah, if you're new here, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. hit that like button and all of that's and all that good stuff. Okay, so everybody out there, take care. Really appreciate you, and we'll be seeing you soon. I'm sure I'll be live with Joe Mayo and Tim Allen on Mr. Cinemayo's movie chat next Monday as well. And guys, I will probably see you next Wednesday or next Thursday. Still don't know, with Uncle Paul. I'm going to have Uncle Paul up, and we're going to have a chat about something. And we're just going to have him on, and we're going to have some fun. Okay. So take care, everybody. See ya.